pro-Palestinian protesters have been accused of anti-Semitism. This was a demonstration at a performance last night in London of Fiddler on the Roof. Gary, basically your reaction. I mean, this is very disturbing, this.
It's pure and simple anti-Semitism. There was nothing in the play Fiddler on the Roof about the state of Israel. Indeed, when Fiddler on the Roof was set, which is in Tsarist Russia in the early part of the 20th century, modern-day Israel didn't exist. The people who went there are quite simply Jew haters. They went there in order to stir up aggravation and for no other reason. This has nothing to do with politics and everything to do with anti-Semitism.
Yeah, a worrying scene, and this wasn't even an Israeli production.
No.
It wasn't necessarily even a Jewish cast, although it was obviously a story.
Or indeed a Jewish audience.
It's
protecting Jewish values, I suppose, is the only connection that you could make.
Yes, there's a mixture of Jews and non-Jews in the audience. I myself am going to see the play in a few weeks' time. And it's about Jewish history, Jewish tradition, Jewish culture from Tsarist Russia, frankly. And
what form, Gary, did the protest take? What actually happened?
My understanding is that a group of between 10 and 20 demonstrators turned up at a cafe outside of the actual theatre, waving Palestinian flags, and started to remonstrate with people inside the cafe who were obviously about to go and watch the play, making provocative comments. And it was, frankly, I actually feel, I know a lot of Jews feel this way, that the Palestinian flag is really a terror flag. It's not the flag of any particular individual country. It doesn't mean they're pro-Palestine. If they did, they would have been demonstrating years ago when Bashar Assad from Syria was massacring Palestinians. They weren't demonstrating that then. They're only demonstrating now because the conflict is with Jews. And for me, I regard the Palestinian flag as a terror flag.
Well, it's a very disturbing situation overall, ghastly what is going on in Palestine. But what are they trying to say to the people? What I don't really understand is how they make a political point on this. I mean, yes, they get attention, we're talking about it today, but where do they actually score political points? What do they want? Do they want Fiddler on the Roof cancelled? Do they? What is the association? That audience, I wouldn't go in there, and that audience was 90% Jewish last night.
Right. Their objective is to cancel the state of Israel, frankly.
Yeah.
In all honesty, Israel is the nation-state of Jewish people, and their general attitude is anti-Semitic, and they want to see the end of the state of Israel. That's their ultimate objective. And they want to make as much noise as they possibly can, draw as much attention to their cause as they possibly can, thinking it will influence politicians.
And will it influence politicians? Has their cause garnered any support because of what happened last night?
Well, I can't help noticing that in the previous Parliament, before the general election, I would say there were roughly 270 members of Parliament who represented political parties that lent the Palestinian way. That number is now 505. We're seeing a far greater number of MPs, both within the Labour Party, the Liberal Democrats, and, of course, these new pro-Palestinian independent MPs who are representing their cause, which I regard as very worrying.
Goodness me. Well, Gary Mond from the National Jewish Assembly, thanks very much for coming in and talking to us this morning.